Yes, good morning. Is this audible? Is this audible? Reply me in group chat, ma. Is this audible? Okay. So now I request to give your attendance in the group chat also. Give your attendance in the group chat. So, okay. So from the previous class, we have been discussing with the concept of isotropic radiation. So in the today class, let us start some basics of antenna. Okay. So before going for the basics of antenna radiation, sorry, antenna radiation. So we need to discuss the concept of coordinate system. So coordinate system in the sense, we know that when you have any antenna with its radiation pattern, so to measure that radiation, how much amount of radiation is there, what is the radiation power, what is the distance of the radiation with respect to the radius of that radiation pattern. To measure all these things, we require a coordinate system. Okay, so the fundamentals of antenna parameters are represented with the coordinate systems. As we know that basically if we have a rectangular coordinate system that is represented with the x, y and z, and if we have a cylindrical coordinate system that is taken as a rho, comma, phi, comma, z, and spherical coordinate system is represented with r, comma, theta, comma, phi. Okay, so based on the radiation pattern, based on the dependency of the antenna parameters, we'll be choosing what type of geometric coordinate system we are going to use. That depends upon the type of radiating of that sources. Okay, that is what. So based on the source, yeah, based on the source of radiation pattern, we'll be selecting what type of coordinate system we are going to choose from this respective coordinates. And accordingly, when you come with the coordinates of r, comma, theta, comma, phi, okay. So these are mostly used in the field point, such cases as a general radiated field components. As we know that when you come to the uh, electromagnetic waves field coordinates, what happen? There will be checking out whether electric field and magnetic field radiation pattern. Okay, in which direction, in which phase the direction of wave is transmitted. So based on that components, if you check on with the components, what happen? So we'll be representing the electric and magnetic fields, the coordinates as with respect to ER, comma, E theta, comma, E phi. And also with the magnetic representation as HR, comma, H theta, comma, H phi. And if you want to find out what is the density of radiation done with respect to the antenna. So that is given as the radiated density in a radial direction of R. Okay. So if you want to define an antenna which was placed in one of the point and you want to check out with respect to the coordinate system, okay, with respect to X, Y and Z, okay. So if you want to find out at this point, what is how much amount of from this point with some radius of R, okay, with some radius of R, what is the radiated density? Okay, what is the radiated density in the sun? To measure that density, we'll be representing that as PR is equals to 1 by 2 real of electric and magnetic field components. So based on this relation, you'll be finding out what is the radiated density. Okay, so now let us see how the radiation pattern is represented in a two-dimensional representation. So this is what the two-dimensional representation. So you can see here, if I have an antenna which was placed at this point and radiating a power into a free space medium, okay, where the electromagnetic fields are transmitted into a free space medium, and I need to measure this radiated pattern in a two-dimensional way. Okay, two-dimensional way. So, and also I need to define what were the azimuthal plane, what is the azimuthal plane, and what is the elevation plane, and what is an angle for the azimuthal angle, and what is an elevation angle I need to represent. So for that case, we'll be coming out through the coordinate system itself. Okay, so as I said on, I have considered an one antenna which is placed at an one free space location and radiating a power. Okay, and for that case, I'll be taking with a axis of X, Y, and Z. Okay, three axes I have represented, and from the point of radiation, let me take this is an origin point. From this origin point, I'll be radiating a power in a free space medium, and from this point, let me treat some uh, with some angle. That is what, with some angle of theta, I'll be taking a point at this region. Okay, so let me take some part of radiated region within a free space medium, and I need to measure what is the radiated power within the free space medium. So for that case, I've selected a small area, okay, at this region. So you can see a small area is selected at this region with respect to the change with respect to the some angle at the elevation region. That is what z axis. Okay, so I've taken with respect to theta, and as the same way at this region also I'll be taking with the difference of uh, theta cap, okay, which is going to show uh, the coordinates at this point. Okay, so that is what where the area I have selected at that region I'll be selecting with the coordinates as theta cap, okay, phi cap, phi cap, and one more is r cap, okay, r cap. Okay, so I've taken with the I have represented this with the three coordinates over there. So one is of r cap, theta cap, phi cap. Okay, phi cap. So how I have chosen this area in the sense, so with respect to the radius, that is what r. Okay, I've plotted this line with respect to the radius of this radiation pattern. Through that point, from this point, I've made a connection through the azimuthal plane. Okay, so you can see we know that basically the azimuthal plane is at the below point. If the from the origin point, if there is any extended of axis, okay, so that I'll be taking this as an azimuthal plane. So for that case, I've represented that as with the azimuthal plane over there. Okay, azimuthal plane over there, and at this the top side of this radiation pattern, this is what the elevation plane we say. Okay, so for this I've taken with the difference of this plotting with the geometry of these two planes. Okay, that is what at one side I have a difference of r d theta. Okay, the difference of r d theta, and from this point I'll be taking with the uh, area, that is what the surface of this area I'll be defined with ds is equals to r square sine theta d theta d phi. Okay, r square sine theta d theta d phi. So how I got these relations in the sense that will be discussed at the solid angle. Okay, so we have a solid angle basic definition for the antenna parameters. So there will be coming out what is this ds. So we'll be measuring this area with respect to steradians. Okay, steradians. So one steradian is equals to some unit area with respect to the square term of angle of azimuthal angle. Okay, so that will be discussed in the next concept. Before that, you just remember with for this area, if you want to find out the unit area of the space which we have considered at this location, that will be represented as ds is equals to r square sine theta d theta d phi, and the radius is represented with respect to r sine theta d phi. Okay, so for this angle, for this representation, okay, for this representation, so if you need to find out uh, how the uh, current density is going to flow through this radiation pattern, how the direction, what is the direction of the current density represented through the radiation pattern. So to see that thing, will be coming out here with. So if I have a coordinate, if I have an axis of x, y, and z, okay. So where the radiation pattern will be equally radiated in all the directions, right? So for that case, the current density is perpendicular with the axis of x and z plane. Okay, so you can see the distribution of the radiator power is given with the x and z plane with 0 less than or equals to theta, less than or equals to pi, and phi is equals to 0. Okay, so which is perpendicular to the radiator pattern, that is going to be with respect to the x and z axis term. Okay, which is given with xz plane is at 0 less than or equals to theta, less than or equals to pi, and phi is equals to 0. As the same way, this is for an angular distribution, basically for the element of current density with respect to the length of L. Okay, so if I have a radiator length of L for a mean of radiator length of L, if I want to find out that, so I'll be representing that current element with respect to dl. Okay, dl with the plane of x and z axis. Okay, as the same way, if you want to represent it for circular shape of x and y plane. Okay, for this case, for x and y plane, for these two cases, so that is represented with x and y plane is given with theta equals to pi by 2, 0 less than or equals to phi, less than or equals to 2 pi. So which is perpendicular to the current density with respect to dl. Okay, that is what J, in the sense it is for RF current density with respect to the dl. So we can define that on comparing with the two axes, that is what x and z plane and x and y plane, we can say that the radiator power is called represented with respect to radiation patterns. Okay, so how much amount of radiation power is represented with respect to the radiation pattern, that is what. So you can see this is for the first case is for x and z plane, and the second case is for x and y plane. Okay, x and y plane. And now at the other side of this block diagram, we have a radiation pattern, the electric field radiation pattern, and the elements ideally dipole formed at the accelerated electric charge. So what is this representation? In the sense, the radiated pattern from the point of radiation through the antenna, okay, the radiation pattern will be represented in this way. Okay, this is what basically we say this is in a 3D representation, 3-dimensional representation. What we have seen previously, it is in a 2-dimensional representation. Okay, so this is in a 3-dimensional representation, and we'll be finding out the x and y plane is said to be the azimuthal circular pattern, and z and x plane is said to be the elevation planes. Okay, this plane is said to be the elevation plane, and this plane is said to be the azimuthal circular pattern. And based on this radiation pattern, what happened, you will be finding out for one certain point of area, we have find out the how much amount of radiation pattern is there, and we'll be finding out the unit area with respect to their coordinates. Okay, coordinates. That is what we have already discussed previously with r cap comma theta cap comma phi cap. Okay, phi cap. So these are internally with respect to the some area, some part of area. If you want to find out what is the radiation pattern, what is the radiation power, if you want to find out, that will be taken with respect to the coordinates of r cap, theta cap, and phi cap. Yeah. So now we come out with a one more basic concept, that is what solid angle. Okay, solid angle. So what is a solid angle in the sense? So if I have a circular of radius of r, okay, if I have one circle with some radius of r from this point of origin, okay, from a point of origin, and I basically will be representing that circle of origin with respect to 2 pi r, right? Okay, the circumference of the plane will be representing with 2 pi r, and the plane of angle is represented with 360 degrees, which is equals to 2 pi radians, right? 2 pi radians. So what is the solid angle represent in the sense? If I have a radiation pattern, okay, if I have a radiation pattern from the point of origin, if I need to find out some part of radiation with respect to some angle. Okay, with respect to some angle, some part of angle, and for that some part of angle, if you want to define the what is the radiated power, radiated power to be calculated. Okay, so that part is said to be represented as a solid angle. So you can see here, if I have some part of angle to be measured for this uh, radiated power, so that I'll be taken with respect to 1 radians. Okay, 1 radians. So 1 radians in the sense that represents basically uh, 1 radians is equals to basically 57.3 degrees basically. Okay, so 1 radian is equals to 57.3 degrees. Okay, 57.3 degrees. So how I'll be representing this thing in the sense, so from the point of center point of this radiated pattern, I'll be making with some angle with the radius of r, and the arc of outer circle, that is what from the outer circle of this arc, I'll be representing with the theta r. Okay, theta r. So, and the amount of radiation with respect to the angle, that will be represented with 1 radians. Okay, if I have 1 radian, that is equals to 57.3, right? So if you want to measure it for complete 1 steradian, 1 radian with some part, that is represented as 1 steradian. Okay, so 1 steradian, that is what 1 steradian with respect to circumference of the small circle, if you want to find out, that is given with the r square. Okay, so within of this circle, if you want to find out a small part of area of radiation pattern with an angle of with some angle over there, so this angle is said to be the solid angle. Okay, solid angle. And the area of this, the measure of this area is said to be with the ds, which is measured with respect to uh, steradian. Okay, 1 steradian. So that is given with the relation as the elemental of area ds. So ds in the sense elemental area of surface of sphere. Okay, surface of sphere of radius r is given with ds is equals to r square sine theta d theta d phi. Okay, meter square. As the same way, the element of solid angle with respect to d omega, okay, d omega is subtended by ds by a sphere which is given as d omega equals to ds by r square. Okay, which is given as sine theta d phi with respect to steradian. Okay, so this is taken with respect to the area within the sphere of radius. Okay, where s is equals to 4 pi r square. So on defining with this relation, we'll be finding out what is a steradian element and what is a area of element represented. So see the difference. The solid angle in the sense, for a normal radiation pattern, if you find out with some angle of radius and plot an arc at the outer side, that is represented with the theta r basically. But to define the solid angle in the sense, within the radiation pattern, if you want to find out some part of area and with some respective angle, so that is treated as an that is measured with respect to 1 steradian. Okay, so the steradian is represented with respect to spherical surface of the area. Okay, so you can see the point over here. 1 steradian is defined as a solid angle subtended by spherical surface area ds is equals to the square which each side of the length r and the vertices of center of the sphere and the radius of r. So this is said to be the solid angle within the one spherical system. If you want to find out some part of area with respect to some angle of radius, so that is treated as a solid angle. Okay, for that case, we have a represented with the elemental area and as well as with the solid angle d omega. Yes. Nextly, so nextly we come out with the third concept of dipole antenna. Okay, dipole antenna or short electric dipole. Okay, short electric dipole. So what is this dipole antenna and what is that short electric dipole in the sense? So uh, it is a short length antenna which takes less time to travel one pole to the other pole. By charge carriers, the physical length of the dipole antenna is lambda. So when we come to this, if I have one of the dipole antenna, okay, one dipole antenna, okay. So the dipole antenna takes a short length. It is a short length of antenna which is represented with the wavelength of L, lambda. Sorry, okay, lambda. And the short, it is represented with the basically the dipole antenna is represented with the it transfers the charge carrier from one pole to the other pole. Okay, one pole to the other pole with respect to the wavelength of lambda. Okay, in terms of half dipole, that is what half dipole in the sense it is said to be as an length is said to be with respect to lambda by 2. Okay, lambda by 2. So two half of poles are said to be with the length of lambda by 2. So within the electrical potential of two ends of the antenna, it is equals to the midpoint of potential of radiation resistance. So the dipole antenna is given with the radiation resistance. That is what R. So this is RR is equals to 80 pi square of dl by lambda whole square. So this is a relation on representing with the on calculating with the one of the practical dipole antenna when the direction of charge carriers are from one pole to the other pole. Okay, one pole to the other pole with a short length of lambda is represented. So that is calculated based on the radiation resistance. Okay, how much amount of radiation is there and what was its resistance that is represented over there. Okay, based on the radiation resistance. So this is the formula. That is what radiation resistance is equals to 80 pi square dl by lambda whole square. Okay, where dl is the differential length of radiation resistance of half wave dipole. Okay, this is for half wave dipole. That is what dl in the sense half wave dipole. Why? Because we have a two half dipoles over there. Okay, so which is going to calculate a complete 1 lambda of length. Okay, and we have a radiation resistance which is given with the 73 ohms. And next definition comes out with radian. Okay, radian. So radian, what is this radian in the sense? Radian is used to measure the plane angle, and it's nothing but a total angle subtended by the center of the circle with the vertex of with its vertices. So that is what the radian is nothing but similar with the solid angle. Okay. So, but in the solid angle, what happened? You'll be calculating what is the angle of the degree term which you have taken from the center part of this circle of radiation. But here, the radian is used to measure the plane angle. That is what if you extend on with this radius from the center point, center of this circle, if you extend on towards the plane of the plane surface of the outer surface of the circle. So, and if you plot an if you take an angle to measure what is the outer surface, outer region of the circle, surface of the circle, so that is taken as an theta r. So this theta r is said to be the radian, radian measure of the plane angle. Okay, so radian is used to measure the plane angle of the substandard center of the circle. So 1 radian is equals to 57.3 degrees. And now, so here we come out with the antenna parameters or antenna properties. Okay, antenna properties. So firstly, so we will be discussing with all these properties. So first property goes on with radiation pattern. Second one is radiation intensity or power radiation pattern. Third one is directive gain or directivity. The fourth one is power gain. Fifth one is beam width, beam area, and beam efficiency. Sixth one comes out with antenna aperture. Seventh one comes out with effective height. Eighth one comes out with front to back ratio. And ninth one comes out with antenna efficiency. So all these are the parameters we'll be discussing one by one now. Yeah. So here we have a first one, the first property within the radiation pattern, radiation antenna parameters. Okay, that is what radiation pattern. So radiation pattern or antenna pattern is defined as a mathematical function or geographical representation of radiation properties of an antenna as a function of space coordinates. So as we know that previously also we have discussed with the radiation pattern with respect to radiation coordinates. So if you have a radiation, the power, the amount of power radiated from the antenna into a free space, that is what the electromagnetic waves which were said to be spread into a free space. If you want to calculate, if you want to measure the radiation within the free space medium, you'll be measuring based on the geometric coordinates, right? So these radiation properties, what type of properties you'll be including in the measurement of the coordinates, geometric coordinates of the radiation pattern in the sense, will be representing with uh, power flux density, first one. The second one comes out with the radiation intensity. Third one comes out with field strength. Fourth one is the directivity phase, and other is with polarization. So all these are the properties within the radiation itself. Okay. So radiation properties are said to be with power flux density, radiation intensity, field strength, directivity phase, polarization. Okay. So the radiation property of most concerned with the two-dimensional or three-dimensional pattern. So as we know that the radiation pattern will be representing in two-dimensional or three-dimensional representation itself. The trace of received power at the constant radius is called as an power pattern. So if you want the trace of received power at the constant radius. So if you plot of, if you take with some radius of r and constantly you'll be measuring with some the how much amount of radiation power is there is represented. So that is represented as a power pattern. The graph of pedal variation of electrical field along with the constant radius is called as an amplitude field pattern. Okay, amplitude field pattern, which is represented as an capital E, volts per meter. Okay, volts per meter. So it is represented, amplitude field pattern is represented with volts per meter. Yeah. So as we know that the radiation power will be measured with respect to the coordinates of spherical coordinates of r, theta, and phi, right? So which will be representing either in a 3D coordinate, 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional. You'll be measuring that with respect to r, theta, and phi. So if I assume that an antenna is placed in one of the origin of the spherical coordinate system, the field strength is specified with the point of radius of r. So that radiation pattern should not be depending on the radius of shape. Okay, that is r greater than lambda. So how much amount of radiation is there? It should not depend upon the length of the wavelength of the antenna. Okay, so that what happened, you can say that where r that is what the radius of pattern should not be greater than of wavelength of a antenna. That is what lambda. So the distribution of electromagnetic wave energy is given with V by D. Okay. So which is for volts per meter. So V by D. So the direction of field strength E for radiation field is always tangential to a spherical surface of the imaginary sphere of radius R. So if I have one field strength, so that is said to be of E, it is tangential for the radius of radiation of the pattern within the spherical surface of the imaginary space with respect to the R. Okay. So the vertical dipole of electric field E is direction of theta and the horizontal loop is in the direction of phi. So you can see where horizontal loop of direction is of phi and the electrical field is said to be in the direction of vertical dipole. Okay, vertical dipole representation. So you can see where the elevation plane is represented with the theta and the azimuthal plane is represented with the phi. Okay, and the radiation of field strength is measured with respect to E is equals to root of E theta square plus E phi square. So what is this relation in the sense? So where E represents the electric field strength. Okay, electric field strength. and E theta in the sense amplitude of theta component. Theta component in the sense that is what the elevation angle, and E phi in the sense amplitude of the phi component. Okay, that is for azimuthal plane. Azimuthal plane. Yeah. So this is what a simple two-dimensional representation. If you have a radiation pattern in the two-dimensional representation, the outer thing will be representing with the two-dimensional coordinate system. Internally, you can see we have a radiation pattern with the main lobe, minor lobes, and side lobes, and back lobes also. So these part are said to be the lobes basically. Okay, so this is a major lobe. Major lobe in the sense more amount of radiation pattern is done through the antenna. Minor lobes in the sense some part of power is shared towards the minor lobes through the major lobe area, and side lobes in the sense, so this also will be sharing some part of radiation of power towards the side lobes, and the back lobes, so back power is said to be within the back lobe of the radiation power of the antenna. So these are what is the main lobe, what is the minor lobe, and what is the back lobe in the sense. We'll be seeing with one by one now. So you can see, so entirely the radiation pattern is represented with the three regions. Okay, one is of main lobe, side lobe, and back lobe. So main lobe in the sense, a region where it gets maximum energy for an antenna, there may be one or more main lobes. So maximum amount of energy from the antenna, what we are going to get, the radiation energy. So that is to be represented within the main lobe itself. The side lobes, the region where we get minimum or less than and or adjusted to our main lobes or said to be with the side lobes. So some part of energy which is said to be minimum amount of radiation power is shared within the side lobes. Back lobes in the sense, these are same as the side lobes, but these regions must be adjusted to our main lobes. So we have a back lobes over there. So these or some part of back power, back energy, some part of radiation energy which is said to be represented through an antenna that is going to be taken towards at the back side of the lobes.